Okay, I don't know if any of you saw my last video on this, but I have two Zero Yeti 1000s and I was very disappointed with the solar charging. I bought an MPPT solar charge controller because these units do not come with one, and I bought one to see if it would work well. When I got my first one, it did not improve the solar charging whatsoever. So I complained to Zero and they had me send the one back and sent me a new one, and hopefully this will give me better solar charging. In order to install this, you unscrew these screws, and I'd suggest magnetizing your screwdriver before doing this, and I'll show you why in a second. If you need to magnetize a screwdriver, this is how you do it. You put this in here and give it some magnetism for a while, and then you can use it to remove this and not lose these little screws. Okay, so I got all my little screws out. This comes out like that. The MPPT charge controller. First, I plug in the USB communication thing. You're supposed to plug these in with negative here, positive here. So positive, negative. So it goes in this way. Okay, so that's in. Somehow I have this backwards. Well, that's probably going to screw things up. No, not bad. Okay. And they do give you some longer screws, but unfortunately they're recessed way down in here because I can't reach down in there and feed that through. That's why you need to magnetize your screwdriver ahead of time. So now I can feed that down in there. It's not fed down in there. And when you take these out, this is a royal pain in the ass if you don't have a magnetized screwdriver. I don't know, it's held in there good enough. One thing I am going to do is the normal wall input goes through here and goes into here. I'm going to pull this out and plug this into the charge controller down there. And then it should charge even faster from the wall as well as the solar panel. So now I got to put this back in its place. So when I talked with Zero customer support, they were all like, oh, your battery's too full for the solar charge controller to actually have an effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the charging cord for the lower battery and plug it in. And then I'm going to take the output from the upper battery and plug it in here. And this should start charging this battery. And I'm seeing an output of 69 watts and an input of 54 watts. So that's good. Now, my whole plan was to charge the upper battery with solar, which is now going to be charged through the MPPT controller, charge the lower battery from the upper battery, and probably run the lights from the 12 volt and the ceiling fan from the 12 volt, and run the refrigerator from this 12 volt. But I'm going to shut that off because I don't want to drain this battery. So right now this battery is charging this battery, and tomorrow should be sunny and we should see what the difference is when we use the MPPT controller compared to when we use the standard controller. Okay, it's a bright sunny day out and I am actually getting 54 watts of input from my 120 watt solar panel, which is better than I've ever seen. However, it's still way less than the 82 that I would see using my Zero Yeti 1250. So let's plug this into the MPPT controller. We should see considerably more, I guess up to 40% more input. So now we got 64 watts. Still way less than my 82, but better. So I might have had a defective MPPT controller because I was not seeing any difference. However, I never had the battery drain this low. So it could be that it doesn't charge very fast when the battery's getting close to full. I don't know. Seems rather strange. I didn't believe the person from Zero who told me that. With my Yeti 1250 and the auxiliary battery that I had, I used to be able to run my cooler all summer without ever having to charge this by a wall charger. It would charge 100% by the solar panel. I'm not so sure that's going to happen when I'm getting only 62 watts in instead of 82 watts, but that is improved. I also found out that to run a 12 volt refrigerator, such as I am doing with the Dometic that I have, you should run it with a voltage regulator. Why these stupid Yeti 1000s are not nearly as good as the Yeti 1250, because that could run my refrigerator right down to 0. These, I guess, shut off way earlier because I don't know why. But if you're going to get a Yeti 1000 or 1400, you're going to need to buy the MPPT controller and this other cable if you're going to run a fridge. Very disappointed in that. The other thing is, because you can't chain another battery to these, that's why I bought 2 of these. If you charge the lower one from the upper one using the AC cable, you're going to be outputting 75 watts, and you're going to be getting in 60 watts. I have a feeling that I'd be better off if I were to buy a cable that could go from the 12 volt output into the 12 volt input there, and that would probably be more efficient than going from DC to AC and then back to DC. Okay, well, it's good news that this is actually working somewhat better at 62 watts than my prior experience with the MPPT controller. Thanks for watching.